Hey, what's going on everyone, and welcome back to another Ready in Minutes workout. Today we've got something special for you because as usual, it is a 5-step sequence, but all your moves in the sequence will be performed within one Turkish getup. So that means at various parts of the getup, you will be performing your strength lifts or your ballistics. Now this definitely is a more advanced one, so you want a very good handle on your Turkish getup, as well as the basic kettlebell ballistics and lifts before you perform it. But that said, let's dive in and take a look at it. So you'll notice how everything kind of flowed together in each part of the sequence. You reach a station, you pause, you perform your lift, you reset, and then you get to the next station before performing the next lift. So throughout the entire getup, there are 5 different pauses to perform 5 different lifts. Today, I'm gonna walk you through the entire sequence with the pauses explaining each part of it, as well as the best way to perform each technique in the station you're stopping in. Okay, so let's break it down. So as usual, we always start in fetal position and we are going to rock onto our back. We're then gonna set up in the starting Turkish getup position, finding our 45-degree angles, and we're gonna press the bell out for 5 reps. Right, now when you press the bell out, you don't want the elbow to crash into the ground like that. If anything, you want it to lightly graze the ground before pressing back up. Once you finish your final rep, you're going to roll onto your forearm. You're gonna squash, you're gonna sweep. Now, this leg is facing forward, this leg is facing the other direction. I want you to pivot into a half kneeling position to perform your clean. Guide the bell into the rack, adjust if needed. And then, now the trick here will be keeping the lat engaged as you drop the bell between your legs and hinge. So, if the lat disengages, that happens. I didn't want to make a lot of noise, so I softened the landing, but if there's no lat engaged, it will crash into the ground. Now, if your lat is engaged and you're squeezing here, pinching your armpits, it'll pull you into a hinge before you guide it back up into the rack position. Perform this for all your reps, squeezing here and keeping a nice tight hinge to guide back into the rack. When you finish your final rep here, press back up to lockout and lunge to the top. Now, we are going to snatch straight down to the ground, so control your arc and land it softly. We're then gonna row for 5 reps. So think about pulling to your side pocket for all 5 reps. What you don't wanna do is start a lawnmower like that. That's no good. Pull it back and up. Once we finish here, we're gonna have our feet in line with the kettlebell and dead snatch back up to the top. At lockout, we're gonna tap the leg, take a big step back. And now what we're gonna do is not stay in the half lunge, pivot the back leg, because we're gonna work on our windmill. We are going to land our forearm down right in front of our knee while pushing our butt back. Just like that. This gives you practice for the hinge where you'd be standing during the windmill. Once you're done at the bottom, corkscrew your hand and press back up. Perform this for all your reps, keeping your hand facing forward and your elbow right in front of your knee. Remember, we want to push back towards the heel. We don't want the bell guiding us forward like that. That can lead to a loss of balance, and if the bell goes this way, you're going with it. All right, once done here, we're gonna chop the hip, walk it out, sweep on out, and we're in this seated position. We are going to extend the other leg, and we're going to perform 5 Z presses. Once we finish here, on the side you pressed on, bend the leg, plant the hand, land on your elbow, and center the kettlebell over your chest to land safely. Guide the bell down, and that's all there is to it. All right, now let's have some fun doing it 2 times to each side together. All right, so starting with our right side, let's start in fetal position and let's rock onto our back. We're gonna press the bell out for 5 reps, remembering to land the elbow softly on the ground. All right, we're gonna stay at lockout after our 5th rep. We're gonna roll onto our forearm. We are going to squash. We're gonna sweep, hinge, and then now pivot the leg so we're in a half kneeling position. Guide the bell to the rack, clean between the legs. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, let's press it out to lockout and lunge to the top. Let's dead clean down to the ground and row to our side pocket for 5. All right, now let's dead snatch it back up to lockout. And let's reverse our get up. Tap the leg, big step back. Now, pivot here so the legs are facing different ways. And now remember, keep the elbow just in front of the knee as you perform your windmill. More. All right, now chop the hip, walk it out, sweep on out. Now extend the other leg and press out for 5. 2. All right, keep it at lockout. Bend that leg, support here with your other hand on your elbow, and back down to the ground. Guide the bell down, back to fetal. That's the end of side 1. Let's get after side 2. All right, onto our second side. We're gonna start in fetal again and rock onto our back, pressing out for 5 reps. All right, we're gonna roll onto our forearm. Squash. Sweep, and now we're in this half kneeling position. We're gonna guide it to the rack and clean between our legs, making sure to pinch here and engage the lats so we have a controlled arc. All right, we're gonna press out to lockout and lunge to the top. Dead snatch down to the ground and row to the side pocket for 5. All right, let's dead snatch back up to lockout and reverse our get up. Tap the leg. All right, and now open the hip up. You can pivot on the back leg or on the front one if you want. And remember, guide the elbow just in front of the knee. Keep this at lockout. And 5. All right, let's chop, walk it out, sweep on out, extend the other leg, and press out for 5. 2, 3, 2. All right, bend the leg of the side you're pressing on, support on the opposite side, land on the elbow, and guide the bell over your chest on the way down. Bring the bell back down and finish in fetal. All right, let's get back to the first side. All right, back to our first side. Let's set up in our fetal position and rock onto our back. Here we are. And let's press out for 5. All right, let's roll onto our forearm. Squash, sweep, pivot the leg, guide to the rack, and clean for 5. Press out to the top, lunge, head snatch down to the ground, row to the side pocket for 5. Dead snatch to the top. All right, reverse to get up. Okay, I'm gonna pivot on the back leg. Remember, you can do the front. And elbow just in front of the knee for 5 as you do your windmill. All right, chop the hip, walk it out, sweep on out, extend the other leg, and press for 5. Support the pressing arm, hand support on the other side, land on your forearm, bell over your chest, back down to the ground. Guide it back down with both hands and back to fetal. All right, one side left to do. Let's get after it. All right, I'm gonna try to give you guys a slightly different angle for this one. Let's set up in fetal and rock onto our back. Let's press out for 5. All right, let's roll onto our forearm. Let's squash, sweep, and let's pivot. Guide it to the rack and clean for 5. All right, let's press to the top, lunge to the top. All right, let's dead snatch down to the ground and row to our side pocket for 5. All right, dead snatch to the top. And let's reverse our get up. Tap the leg with the free hand, soft knee to the ground. All right, I'm gonna open up this way. And remember, elbow just in front of the knee as you try your best to hinge backwards. This is my less good side. As you can see, I pitched forward a little bit at the bottom. And 5. All right, up. Chop the hip, walk it out, sweep on out. All right, extend the other leg, guide it to the rack, and press for 5. 4, 5. All right, leg support on the pressing arm, hand support on the opposite side. Get down onto your forearm and back down to the ground. Guide the bell down with both hands and back to fetal. And that's it, you're done. All right, guys, I hope you have fun with this one. I had fun coming up with it. I was trying to think of something a little original and off the beaten path to give you, but that would also challenge your strength, stability, mobility, and endurance, as this is a lot of overhead pressing stuff, which will tire your arms out. So in short, if you're looking for a good, well-rounded 5-move circuit that will challenge all those things I just mentioned and your conditioning, then this is a great way to go. And if you're just looking for a great arm workout, this is also a great way to go. Just make sure you use a bell that you can manage when doing this. If it wasn't obvious, don't use your PR weight to try and do this sequence. And as usual, let me know if you have any questions or any trouble with any part of this sequence. I hope you have fun with this one, and I'll see you guys real soon on the next one. Stay strong.